very excited to be here today at the Pearson Professional Test Center, where Kenyans and others can actually take various exams, but especially the NCLEX-RN exam. We're excited to be here, and I'm happy to be here with Dr. Oluoch, the CEO of the KMTC, as well as Irene Karai, the Director in charge of Diaspora Skills and Expertise. And I really want to appreciate the Pearson team for inviting us to be here on this very important day and to really see that this center that was dreamt of and that was planned about has actually taken off, and as we have seen, students are already able to take exams. So I really want to appreciate the leadership of Pearson and Pearson Vue for allowing us to be here and to be a part of this journey. I also want to acknowledge the partnerships that make these kinds of things possible. Not just partnerships within government, such as with the KMTC, between ourselves at the State Department for Diaspora Affairs, the Ministry of Labor and so on, but also specifically the partnerships with our diaspora. It is because of Kenya's diaspora in the state of Minnesota in the US that we've been able to see the launch of this Pearson Vue Center, and we're very excited to see the work that our diaspora continue to do, particularly in sharing their network and in using their networks for the good of this country. So this test center is a journey of many, many steps. From the beginning of perhaps in August, when conversations began about Pearson setting up a center here in Kenya, to when we hosted the team here in January to begin conversations and to scout around for a position, and conversations around recruiting Kenyan nurses to be able to share their talent and their work around the world, to May of this year, where we had various healthcare professionals, recruiting companies and healthcare businesses from many parts of the world, and particularly from the US, coming here to Kenya to meet with potential nurses and potential talent to explore really what we have as a country to share with the world. And eventually to our own travel to Minnesota, and finally to the 10th of July of 2024, when we've actually been able to see this center offer exams to various candidates. The idea of job creation and the importance of being able to find our talent, opportunities to serve, not just within Kenya, but around the world, is really, really important. It's at the core of the work of the Kenya Kwanza administration and the work that His Excellency Dr. William Samoei Ruto, our president, is trying to do. At the State Department for Diaspora Affairs, together with the Ministry of Labor and other actors, such as now the KMTC, Ministry of Health and so on, we are charged with helping Kenyans find opportunities abroad. Of course, our work in helping Kenyans find opportunities is really threefold. You have to help people find job opportunities here in Kenya, primarily, and that is the core of the work. We have to help Kenyans who have the ability and capacity to work online be able to find digital jobs. That is the second strand. And the third strand is diaspora jobs, where Kenyans are able to share their talent in an increasingly global world, whether they be nurses or occupational therapists or doctors or cleaners, for them to be able to share that with the rest of the world. These are some of the initiatives that have already been rolled out, and we are working on as a government to ensure that this is done. Many other things are happening apart from, of course, these kinds of partnerships with Pearson and so on, but we've been rolling out diaspora job fairs around the country for Kenyans to come and engage with government and with recruiters and find out what it takes to actually be able to take on a job opportunity abroad and how one goes about that process. So we have had job fairs in different counties, and we can continue to see those. Now the State Department for Diaspora Affairs has a dedicated diaspora placement agency, which is a SAGA that helps with the placement of Kenyans in jobs abroad. We've worked on seasonal worker programs within the agricultural sector with the UK, and many more are currently being explored. As you're aware, there are already 19 bilateral labor agreements that are being negotiated, and we expect to see signed soon. The Ministry of Labor, of course, runs point as far as bilateral labor agreements are concerned, but we work very closely and we are happy to support the work. You might, of course, already know that we have completed negotiations around the bilateral labor agreement or the migration agreement with Germany, and that is going to be signed in September of this year. So this is part of the work that government is doing to address this issue of unemployment. I think staying with Germany, one of the things to note is that we will have another job fair here in Kenya in September, where a number of German companies are going to be coming to recruit and to meet our fantastic Kenyan talent. And you can really look out for that. So let me once again thank the Pearson Vue team here for inviting us to be a part of this journey. Let me thank our diaspora, as always, for being willing to share their networks and their work, and working to bring and to connect their new homes with their home here in Kenya. But let me also thank our teams, both within the Ministry of Foreign and Diaspora Affairs, as well as KMTC and the broader Ministry of Health, in really working together to make this happen. From what we have seen, various Kenyans have already come here and taken the exam, and we can expect that more and more. From what they have told us is that bookings have really come in and they're getting quite busy. We can expect to see more of that over the next several months. But one of the things that was really interesting is to note that we already have candidates coming here from the region, from Nigeria, from South Sudan, from Tanzania, from Rwanda, and elsewhere, as expected, because this is only the second center in Africa, with the first one being in South Africa.